The Bailiwick of Brandenburg of the Chivalric Order of St. John of the Hospital at Jerusalem, or simply the Order of St. John, is the German Protestant branch of the Knights Hospitaller, the oldest surviving chivalric order, which generally is considered to have been founded in Jerusalem in the year AD 1099. The order is led by its 37th Herrenmeister, Prince Oscar of Prussia. Each of its knights, about 4,000 men worldwide, is either a Knight of Justice or a Knight of Honor. Membership in the order is by invitation only, and individuals may not petition for admission. It is not limited to German citizens or German speakers, and knights include citizens and residents of most major nations. The order comprises 17 commanderies in Germany, one each in Austria, Finland, France, Hungary, and Switzerland, and a global commandery with sub-commanderies in 12 other countries. Together with the London-based Most Venerable Order of the Hospital of St. John of Jerusalem, the Swedish Johanniter Order Nysvaria, and the Dutch Johanniter Order in Netherlands, the order forms the alliance of the Orders of St. John of Jerusalem, with the Roman Catholic Sovereign Military Order of Malta. These four alliance orders represent the legitimate heirs of the Knights Hospitaller. They consider other orders using the name of St. John to be merely imitative, and the Alliance and the SMOM have jointly formed a False Orders Committee, with representatives of each of the 5 orders, for the purpose of exposing and taking action against such imitations. The order and its affiliate orders in the Netherlands and Sweden, which became independent of the Bailiwick of Brandenburg after the Second World War, in 1946, are Protestant. The SMOM, headquartered in Rome, admits only men and women of the Roman Catholic faith. The Most Venerable Order of the Hospital of St. John of Jerusalem, a revival of the medieval English lang of the Order of St. John, was chiefly Anglican at its formation in the 19th century but has since opened its membership to men and women of any faith. Charitable works. Through its Johanniter and Full Health, its hospitals, nursing homes, hospices, and other institutions. The order today is a major provider of medical and rescue services in Germany and, to a lesser extent, of comparable services elsewhere in Europe, Africa, and the Americas. These services are similar to the St. John Ambulance in many Commonwealth nations, and to various organizations affiliated with the Sovereign Military Order of Malta. All are carried out under the auspices of the Christian faith. Additionally, spiritual retreats and other activities of the order concentrate on the spiritual formation and development of Christian citizens in the modern world. History. Appearance of the Order of St. John in German-speaking lands soon after the formation of the order in Jerusalem. Supporters in Western Europe began to donate farmland and other assets for the objectives of the order, the military protection and medical aid of Christian pilgrims to the Holy Land. In time, these land holdings were gathered into regional administrative divisions known as commanderies, each headed by a senior knight, or knight commander of the order. The first commandery in the Germanies was founded in the mid-12th century. By 1318, the Bailiwick of Brandenburg had been established in the northeastern parts of the Holy Roman Empire, an aggregation of commanderies of the order under a bailiff, a high officer of the order. The riches and influence of the bailiwick were so sizable that, in 1382, the prior of the German lang in what became known as the Accord of Heimbach recognized the right of the Bailiwick of Brandenburg to choose its own governor and preceptors. Early modern Europe during the Protestant Reformation. Large parts of the German lang of the then undivided Order of St. John followed the leadership of the Bailiwick of Brandenburg and accepted Lutheran theology while continuing to recognize the headship of the Grand Master of the Order, who, with the majority of the knights, remained Roman Catholic. The higher officials of the order, now headquartered on the Mediterranean island of Malta after the successive losses of Jerusalem, Acre, and Rhodes to Muslim Arabs and Turks, evinced a desire to maintain a relationship with the Protestant knights despite the theological and ecclesiological differences between the two groups. but in 1581, then Grand Master John de la Casia called Herrenmeister Martin von Hohenstein before the chapter of the Order of St. John in Malta. When the Herrenmeister did not appear, de la Casia declared the expulsion of the Knights of the Bailiwick from the order, though he did so without the agreement of the chapter. Though separated from the Roman Catholic main stem of the Order of St. John, the Bailiwick of Brandenburg continued to flourish. Admitting only noblemen, principally from the Germanies, the bailiwick maintained hospitals and other institutions to care for the poor, the sick, and the injured. Elections of successive Herrenmeister were announced to the Grand Prior of Germany in the Roman Catholic Order of Malta, and, in accordance with the request from the governing authorities of the Order of Malta, responsions were paid to the Grand Priory. The horrific 30 Years' War devastated the bailiwick, resulting in the deaths of many knights and the destruction of much of the wealth of the bailiwick. By the terms of the Peace of Westphalia ending the conflict, the bailiwick was effectively placed under the protection of the Prince-Electors of Brandenburg, later Kings of Prussia, members of the House of Hohenzollern. Under this protection, the Johanniterorden, as the order came to be known, came to be headquartered at Sonnenberg Castle in the Neumark of Brandenburg, east of the Oder River. Though the Herrenmeister resided in the Ordenspalais in Berlin from its completion in 1738, as the intense sectarianism of early modern Europe gave way to the Enlightenment, further if sporadic attempts were made to accommodate the Protestant bailiwick within the Roman Catholic Order of Malta. Despite cordial relations, however, including payment of responsions to Malta and participation of delegates from the bailiwick in the Chapter General of the Order of Malta in 1776, nominal reunion of the two orders was prevented by the withholding of papal approval. The order in the 19th century and thereafter in 1811 and 1812, in his position of protector of the order, King Frederick William III of Prussia transferred the powers of the Herrenmeister and the chapter to the Prussian crown, effectively dissolving the bailiwick and confiscating its possessions. He established a similarly named Order of Merit, the Royal Prussian Order of St. John, in its stead. The Herrenmeister of the bailiwick, Prince August Ferdinand, became the first Grand Master of the Order of Merit, continuing to reside in the Palace of the Order, and all Knights of the Order became members of the Order of Merit. The Order of Merit was in its turn dissolved in King Frederick William IV of Prussia, again exercising the powers of the Kings of Prussia as protectors of the order, restored the original bailiwick in 1852. The 8 surviving Knights or Justice of the original order were among its first members. In 1853, they elected the younger brother of the Prussian king, Prince Friedrich Karl Alexander, the new Herrenmeister of the restored order. He announced his election to the head of the Order of Malta, who in acknowledgement recognized this restoration as the continuation of the historic bailiwick. The Johanniterorden and its branches became fully independent of the Roman Catholic Grand Master in Rome, although the Herrenmeisters then and since have continuously and explicitly recognized the order's historical connection with the Roman Catholic Order of Malta. During the course of the 19th and 20th centuries, the order created and supported more and more charitable activities. It now owns and operates numerous hospitals, ambulance services, old age homes, and nurseries, and provides first aid training courses and disaster relief, both within Germany and abroad. After World War II, with the Neumark given by the victorious Allies to Poland, the order moved its headquarters to Bonn, West Germany. After the reunification of West and East Germany, the headquarters were moved again, to Berlin. More than location of the seat of the order changed in the aftermath of the Second World War. The Swedish and Dutch commanderies separated from the direct oversight of the bailiwick in 1946. And 2 years later the bailiwick itself began to admit commoners as knights, as the German nobility was seen as a frozen caste. The Finnish commandery, however, remains a purely noble society, as do the now independent Swedish and Dutch orders. Although the Herrenmeister is now elected and no longer is nominated by the King of Prussia or Emperor of Germany, the present status of the order under German law derives from its incorporation in 1852 and from official recognition by the German government in 1957 and 1959 of the badges of rank in the order as German decorations of merit, ranks. There are 3 active classes in the order: Commander, Knight of Justice, and Knight of Honor. There are also classes of Honorary Commander, given to Knights of Justice who have rendered signal service to the order, and Honorary Member, which can be bestowed on men who do not belong to the order but have given it some extraordinary service. Cloaks and Insignia. The cloak of the order is plain black with a large, white, linen 8-pointed cross on the left breast. For most knights, the cloak is black woolen with a plain lining, but the Herrenmeister's cloak is a black velvet lined in satin. The cloaks of most knights are closed only at the neck, but the Herrenmeister, commanders, honorary commanders, and Knights of Justice also close their cloaks at the waist with a long black cord called a cingulum. The insignia, also known as crosses of honor, are no longer bestowed by the order automatically. Knights of Honor now must have rendered 5 years of service to the order before a Cross of Honor is granted. Promotion to Knight of Justice requires at least 7 years of distinguished service. The basic insignia of the order is a white enameled Maltese cross. The crowned Brandenburger eagles between the arms of the crosses date from 1668. They are gold for Knights of Justice, honorary commanders, and the Herrenmeister, but, on the crosses of Knights of Honor and honorary members, the eagles are enameled black with only the tiny crowns on each eagle's head left unenameled gold. The closed crown of the King of Prussia on the Herrenmeister's cross and the crosses of commanders, honorary commanders, Knights of Justice, and honorary members dates from the time of Frederick the Great, when his government authorized it to be used on the insignia. Excluding the crown, the cross of a Knight of Justice is 5 centimeters in diameter, the cross of a commander, honorary commander, or honorary member, 5.5 centimeters, and the cross of the Herrenmeister, 7 centimeters. The cross of a Knight of Honor is 6 centimeters in diameter. Each cross depends from a black moire 4.5-centimeter wide ribbon worn about the neck. An informal insigne, the simple white enameled Maltese cross in either gold or silver, may be worn on the left lapel of a knight's suit coat or sport coat. All members of the order may also wear a plain, uncrowned Maltese cross as a star or breast badge. Most such breast badges are of plain linen, though white enameled metal breast badges of about 5.5 centimeters in diameter also are seen. From the late 18th century, the Johanniter have had a uniform similar to Knights of Malta. Though not abolished, this uniform has not been worn since before the Second World War. Related orders. In 1946, the Dutch and Swedish commanderies of the order separated from the direct oversight of the bailiwick to form distinct, though related, orders. Order of St. John in the Netherlands. The medieval Dutch Bailiwick of Utrecht and Commandery of Haarlem formed parts of the German Lang until, during the Reformation, they associated themselves with the reformed Bailiwick of Brandenburg. Both the Bailiwick of Utrecht and the Commandery of Haarlem were suppressed in 1810, during the Napoleonic occupation. Dutch Knights of the Bailiwick of Brandenburg formed their own commandery within the Johanniter Orden in 1909, when the Dutch monarch afforded it royal protection, and the commandery separated from the German Johanniter Orden in 1946. The commandery became an independent order in 1958 and is known as Johanniter Order in Netherlands, now admitting noblewomen as well as noblemen. The Dutch monarch is an honorary commander. With the German and Swedish orders, the Dutch order helped found the Alliance of the Orders of St. John of Jerusalem on June 13, 1961. Dutch insignia of the Johanniter Order in Netherlands replace Prussian eagles with the Dutch lion. Order of St. John in Sweden. A Swedish commandery of the Order of St. John had been established by 1185, but laicized in 1530 as a result of the Reformation. Some Swedish noblemen had become knights of the Johanniter Order by the early 19th century. By 1920, when King Gustav V placed him under his protection as a union of Swedish knights of the order, they were 54 in number. In 1946, the Union of Swedish Knights separated from the German Johanniter Orden and a Swedish order was established, known as the Johanniter Orden i Sverige, and with the Swedish monarch as its high protector, it helped found the Alliance of the Orders of St. John of Jerusalem on June 13, 1961. Even though it is still a semi-official chivalric order of the Swedish state, membership of the Swedish order in practice remains limited to noblemen. Swedish insignia of the Johanniter Orden i Sverige replace Prussian eagles with the sheaf of the House of Vasa, Herrenmeister. Following is a list of the men who have headed the order, with the title of Herrenmeister, from the beginning of the institution as a subdivision of the Knights Hospitaller, 1323 to 1336. Gebhard von Wartefelder, considered the first Herrenmeister, 1341 to 1371. Hermann von Werberg, 1371 to 1397. Bernhard von der Schulenburg, 1397 to 1399. Detlev von Walmert, 1399 to 1418. Riemar von Guntersberg, 1419 to 1426. Busso von Alvensleben, 1426 to 1437. Balthasar von Schlieben, 1437 to 1459. Nikolaus von Tierbach, 1459 to 1460. Heinrich von Rieden, 1460 to 1471. Liborius von Schlieben, 1471 to 1474. Caspar von Guntersberg, 1474 to 1491. Richard von der Schulenburg, 1491 to 1526. Georg von Schliebrendorf, 1527 to 1544. Vi von Thummen, 1544 to 1545. Joachim von Arnhem, 1545 to 1564. Thomas von Runge, 1564 to 1569. Franz von Naumann, 1569 to 1609. Martin, Graf von Hohenstein, 1610 to 1611. Friedrich, Markgraf zu Brandenburg, 1611 to 1613. Ernst, Markgraf zu Brandenburg, 1614 to 1615. Georg Albrecht, Markgraf zu Brandenburg, 1616 to 1624. Johann Georg, Markgraf zu Brandenburg, 1624 to 1625. Joachim Sigismund, Markgraf zu Brandenburg, 1625 to 1641. Adam, Graf von Schwarzenberg, 1641 to 1652. Georg von Winterfeld, Landvogt der Neumark, Comte zu Schivelbein, 1652 to 1679. Johann Moritz, Fürst von Nassau-Siegen, 1689 to 1692. Georg Friedrich, Fürst zu Waldeck, Graf zu Piemont, 1693 to 1695. Karl Philipp, Markgraf zu Brandenburg-Schwedt, 1696 to 1731. Albrecht Friedrich, Prinz in Preußen, Markgraf zu Brandenburg-Schwedt, 1731 to 1762. Karl, Prinz in Preußen, Markgraf zu Brandenburg, 1762 to 1812. August Ferdinand, Prinz von Preußen, 1853 to 1883. Friedrich Karl Alexander, Prinz von Preußen, 1883 to 1906. Albrecht, Prinz von Preußen, 1907 to 1926. Eitel Friedrich, Prinz von Preußen, 1927 to 1958. Oscar, Prince von Preußen, 1958–1999. Wilhelm Karl, Prince von Preußen, 1999–present. Oscar, Prince von Preußen. Bibliography. Article on Johanniterorden in the German language Wikipedia. Clark, Robert M. Jr., The Evangelical Knights of St. John. A History of the Bailiwick of Brandenburg of the Knightly Order of St. John of the Hospital at Jerusalem, known as the Johanniter Order. Dallas, Texas. 2003. Freller, Thomas. The German Lang of the Order of Malta. A Concise History, Santa Venera, Malta. Mid-Sea Books Limited. 2010. Herrlich, Carl Hugo. Die Bailli Brandenburg des Johanniterordens von ihrer Menstehen bis zur Gegenwart und in ihren jetzigen Einrichtungen. Berlin. Karl Heyman's Verlag, 1904. Hogan Dykhoff, Hans J. The Legitimacy of Orders of St. John. A Historical and Legal Analysis and Case Study of a Para-Religious Phenomenon. Doctoral Thesis. Leiden. University of Leiden. ISBN 9065095542. De Peerden, Michel. Histoire politique de l'ordre souverain des Hospitaliers de Saint-Jean de Jérusalem dit des Malta, depuis la chute des Malta du Square Nos Jeux. Paris. 1926. Saint-E, Geister. The Orders of St. John. The History, Structure, Membership and Modern Role of the Five Hospitaller Orders of St. John of Jerusalem, New York. The American Society of the Most Venerable Order of the Hospital of St. John in Jerusalem, 1991. Staeler, Ernst. Geschichte der Johanniter und Malteser, GNAs, Austria. Weishaupt Verlag, 2002. Storm, Robert. A Brief History of the Bailiwick of Brandenburg of the Chivalric Order of St. John of the Hospital at Jerusalem, in Volume 28, No. 1, of Johanniter Herald.